The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Needham. I'll be your host for today. And welcome to Danielcode, and thank you for being with us today. And Frank, thank you, Frank. Frank's a new member. He's doing the wonderful, wonderful thing that we're about to announce today, which is called Teach Yourself Trading. And these are a series of Learn Yourself, Teach Yourself video. And Frank's already started, but Frank, I have to tell you that your bank's still having troubles, mate. Nothing's happened, but I'll check every 6 hours. But welcome to you and to others, and I hope you can all hear me all right. Would somebody just please type in the question box that you can hear me and it's all working? I'm a skeptic about technology, as you probably guess. Let's see who's hearing me all right. Frank, can you hear me? God, right on it. Wonderful. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate that. Okay, and Joe as well. Glad to have you with us. And Chase, of course. Haven't seen you for a while. Chase, how wonderful to have you with us here. And Ben, of course. Isn't that great? We've got a good roll-up today, which is fine. And I do have to thank all of you wonderful, very, very loyal followers who turn up to my webinars every day. And speaking of which, Mark L, as I've often said to you, we can't have a webinar without Mark L. But the reality is, at long last, Mark L has missed this webinar. He's got some other unavoidable commitment. And wrote to me to say that he couldn't do it. Rolf, good to hear you're with us, mate. Glad to hear things are going well for you. Okay, well, so much to talk with you about today, folks. Let's see where we are. We're good morning to most of the east coast of Australia, and good afternoon to our friends across the ditch in the wonderful land of the long white cloud. That's New Zealand. And I read this week that the greatest number of people leaving New Zealand in recent history. They're all going to, well, I should say, coming to Australia, and where the job opportunities are better, where the pay's better, and everything else. But I have to say, my wife's a Kiwi. That's what we call New Zealanders. Their national bird is a beautiful flightless bird called the kiwi. And some years ago, her parents were both elderly and having some health issues, and she was concerned. So I said, "Yeah, we'll go over there, and we'll spend 3 months in New Zealand, and you can help your family out." And we did that. And I've got to say, it was so wonderful that we finished up staying there for 12, almost 13 years. So the 3 months stretched and stretched, and gosh, it's a wonderful place. I know that the unlovely Jacinta's done her best to ruin it for everyone, but a wonderful, wonderful country, always very close to my heart. Okay, so let's move along and see what we've got for today. And as you know, markets are rational, orderly, and sometimes predictable. At least they are if you understand Danielcode trading and how the Danielcode ratios control time and price in all markets. And the linchpin to all of this are Danielcode time signals. Now, there's a whole lot of other stuff as well, which is equally amazing, but the creating and trading Danielcode time signals is the best trading system I know or have ever seen or ever heard of. And you learn that traditionally at the Danielcode tutorial, but today, for the first time, a limited offer, which we're delighted to be able to bring to you. You can now learn through our new Teach Yourself Trading series of videos, where you can pick the videos on the subjects you're interested in, do it in your own time, and at a very, very reduced price level. which we're going to talk about as we move along here with you. Okay, so how do we go today? Well, those of you who've been with us a while will know that we cover 11 futures markets and 9 Forex markets, and we also cover the DAX index, that's Germany's equivalent of the S&P, a very, very good trading market, which is facing a sell signal for Friday, pretty obviously. But let's see what we've done today. Well, this is crude oil. As you can see, we've had a pretty nice and easy 3,000 trade up on target recognition and the TO3 buy signal, and an equally nice and easy sell on the way down on the TO3 sell signal as well. And just in case you didn't get it, we then had a TO3 plus sell signal 2 days later to make sure you got into the trade, and it's facing a buy signal today. So you'll see that of the 11 futures markets that we cover with members charts, 10 of the trades for today are winners, 1 is a loser. Does that happen every day? Well, pretty much. So I'm showing you this to tell you, make sure you're aware of what's on offer here, but also to make the point that we do know something about this business. You can have some faith in it because we've been going, well, the website's been public since 2007, so that's a nice long time, and I've been trading Forex and futures markets for a lot longer than that. This is today's sell signal in the S&P, and have a look at yesterday's bar. The close yesterday of that market was 5641.50. Have a look at the blue lines. You'll see one there slightly to the left of the arrow saying 5641.50. Exactly. Zero variance. What we do with these markets, this is trading price predominantly. All of our TO3 and TO3 plus signals are basically price signals. Some have a little bit of time trading added to them, but you'll see today from these signals, which is every Forex market every futures market that we cover, and one Forex market, you'll see how incredibly accurate these signals are. And all price trading starts with what we call target recognition. Danielcode creates price levels, which are largely unknown to others. We're a very small business, and it's been doing this for a very long time. And target recognition, we say that the market has to find that number. You'll see the one I'm talking about, 5641.50, within 0.1%, not 1%, 1/10 of 1%. And back in the day when this started, that was about 11 ticks. Well, of course, it's a whole lot more now. But this market, like all markets, are still tracking to less, much less, many of them now, than 0.1%. But that level of accuracy is hard for markets to do, and it means something. And there's always some silly idiot who says, you put on so many lines, it's got to find one of them. The level of precision that we require to find target recognition at the bar high or low or close is very, very tight. It's a very hard thing for markets to do. And those of you who've been with us a while will know that markets are doing this all the time. We create members charts for these markets. They're posted on Wednesday night, or they're created on Wednesday night and on the weekend. And you'll just see the markets just hugging these numbers all the time. They're pretty much secret numbers. Not a lot of people know of this. As I say, we're a very small business, but this target recognition is an amazing, astonishing fact of trading. But there you are. That's pretty typical of what these markets do. Let's move along. Here's the next one. This is our trade for gold today, folks. Same sort of thing. You can see that we had a TO3 and blue line trade, which is our strongest form of signal. And this all emanated from Tuesday, where the high of that bar was 2570.4. Where's your number up there? 2509.9. That's within the target allowable variance. That creates a blue line sell signal, and down it goes. So you can see that's another nice trade today. What about the others? You find they're all fairly subdued, but they're all nice trades. This is copper. It turned off a TO3 and blue line sell signal today for a short. This is natural gas, which this chart's a little bit misleading because this market's rolled over, and this is now on the October contract, which is the front month. The September contract is fairly noticeably different, but there was your sell signal. It actually came right on the high. And nice trade today, straight down. Look where it goes to. These are not random markets. I know that a couple of fine economists, Schiller was the main one, got the Nobel Peace Prize for proving that all market movements were random. It was a thesis he called random walk theory, or a development of random walk theory. And in fact, if you don't have the Danielcode price levels on your charts, the markets do look random, but the reality is they're not. They're hitting these numbers, and of course, there's some numbers that are not on there. They're removed after as time moves on, but they're hitting these numbers all the time. It's just like today's that nice sell going off in natural gas. Well, how far did it go? Have a look at it. The low is 2167. Where's our red line? 2166. One tick variance. Amazing? Well, that's typically what happens if you understand Danielcode trading price, which you're going to have a great opportunity to do. Here's today's NASDAQ trade. TO3 sell signal at yesterday's high, which was almost exactly its blue line number. Put your sell order on, down it goes, count your money. Easy enough, isn't it? This is the Russell. This is a losing trade. Yesterday we had it was an inside bar. It was a reversal signal, and it was sitting very, very close to the flip me buy point, which is elected today. So that's a losing trade so far today. But don't worry, you get all your money back in the next few days. And that's our only loser of today, which, as I say, this is primarily to show you we do know something about markets. 11 markets, 10 winning trades. This is beans. It found the blue line at 985, correct 2. That little arrowhead is called a correct. And this, of course, comes from the rule of eighths, which you're going to learn about if you're doing the Danielcode Teach Yourself Trading course. And nice little sell signal, down it went, nice money. Silver's the same. Have a look at this. TO3 sell signal. And you can see the bar that the arrow's on. Target recognition is valid at a bar high or low, depends which way the market's going, or on the close, most importantly. So you can see this particular market, which is silver. It's sitting here. Its close for that bar was 29.57. Okay, and 29.50 was the 29.52 was the close. The blue line was at 29.50, which is within the tolerance. And look what happens the next day. It does it again. The close is almost exactly the same, 29.53.5. If you're pedantic, add up both those numbers, divide them by 2, and you'll find it's just about where the blue line is. So there's a nice trade in silver. And don't forget to think about the correlation. Silver is correlated very highly with gold, and its usual position is that it is inversely correlated with the US dollar index. Now, We used to cover the US dollar index and a couple of other ICE products, coffee in particular, has been quite wonderful. Mick D still trading that and telling me what great trading it is. And you can tell with these correlated markets, all of the equities, Russell Dow, Nasdaq, S&P, and Germany's DAX, are so highly correlated that a signal in one can be executed in any of the others, providing the trade is elected. And the same, of course, applies for gold and silver, as you can see. Okay, here we are. This is wheat. This is a nice trade in wheat, isn't it? It's had a TO3. It actually had a 6S sell signal. 6S's are always in the market, continual daily trade signals. Had a nice TO3 sell signal there, which is elected. Down it goes. It's run a bit further today. Where's it gone? Almost exactly to the blue line down at 526 correct for good stuff. And this, of course, wraps it up. US T-bonds, we had a TO3 plus sell signal. We have TO3 signals, TO3 plus signals, add some trade continuation signals, which this was. You actually had a key reversal bar on Wednesday, very strong. And you'd had target recognition the day before as well. It's no longer on the chart, but it was pretty well perfect. And here's a Forex chart, folks. We actually trade and cover Forex and futures, but for these particular webinars that we do every 2 weeks or a fortnight, Greg from Texas and Colorado Springs knows what I'm talking about, and a fortnight is Australian, or I suppose really originally an English expression. It means a fortnight, means 14 nights or 2 weeks. But we do our webinars fortnightly, and we do cover Forex, and it trades exactly the same as futures. I know the Forex people go to a lot of trouble to try and distinguish themselves as a different product, and they have their pricing is in pips instead of ticks, and as far as I know, PIP is something that comes out of an orange, and Forex and futures trade exactly the same on the Danielcode. So if you don't see a lot of Forex coverage at these webinars, that's because Trade Navigator is not supplying intraday data for Forex. And I actually start doing these webinars for you about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning my time, and there's no data available then. So I tend not to show you a lot of Forex charts, but I assure you they work exactly the same. If you're interested in trading Forex, Danielcode works exactly as it does on futures, no difference at all. And interesting, I started off as a Forex trader, and Greg Palladini, who I think is probably with us today, also started off as a Forex trader. After a while, he converted after he did his second Danielcode tutorial and learned how to trade time, create and trade Danielcode time signals. He became a futures man. All sorts of history about Forex. Very briefly, the PFG, Peregrine Financial Group, was one of the spectacular crashes a few years ago. It was a very popular broker, heavily promoted, etc., etc. And then eventually it all came crashing down, and the guy whose name is quite difficult to pronounce and even more difficult to remember, he tried to off himself, and he didn't succeed, but he's now in lockup for a very long time. And as a result of that, the huge insolvency, the US Bankruptcy Court found that Forex is not a security within the meaning of the US Securities Act, which meant that if you had a Forex account with PFG, you got nothing. You were just a general creditor who got nothing. If you had a futures account, you finished up getting almost all of your money back after the court cases had gone through and the bank had been sued, etc., etc. So many of the regulators then had a panic about it all and said, well, we better take a look at these Forex platforms. And they didn't like what they saw, so they said, we better regulate this and bring in some pretty onerous conditions. And a lot of the big, really big Forex platforms in the States, like Gain Capital as an example, they just said, they gave it a try. They said, this is too hard, too onerous, not worth us doing. They sold their Forex business to a firm in Australia, and they don't offer Forex anymore. As a result of that, a whole lot of folks, particularly Americans, have switched over to trading currency futures, which the CME offers. It's getting better and better. More and more markets are available, and in particular, markets that have sufficient liquidity to trade. So if you're interested in currencies, you can trade it in Forex or futures, as long as you're aware that if you have a account in the US in Forex, it's not a security within the meaning of the Bankruptcy Act. So here's a few little short lines about how I got here. I think the story was going to be far too long, but I can tell you that I started with a firm called Safety in the Market, which was all about the fabled and legendary W.D. Gann. And I was a Gann obsessive for 10 years. Any of you interested in Gann, talk to me. I know more about Gann than any man breathing. That went on for 10 years until I spoke to Ian Jensen. And Ian Jensen is a gentleman who was Gann's sort of front man. Gann was doing a presentation in a country town, which he did a lot of, or anywhere else. Jensen went in first and put up the stickers and spoke to the journalists, organised the hall to rent and everything else. But I was lucky enough to come across Ian. I wish I'd seen him 10 years earlier. I said, I'll pay you $10,000 if you'll speak to me for 15 minutes. He said, well, wonderful, that's not a problem. Send the money. So I sent the money, and he sent me back his phone number and said, ring me on Tuesday. So I did. And he was working for a broker. He was still a great hustler. His boy, he said, have I got a deal for you? IBM options. And away he went. I said, no, stop that. I said, I'm a great fan of Mr. Gann. I've always had a problem that amongst the many things that Gann did or claimed to do, was a day-by-day analysis of his trades in Union Steel, which was one of his favourite stocks. I've never been able to work it out. I've gone through it 3 or 4 different ways. I still can't make it work. Oh, he said, that's easy. He said, I'll tell you how we did it. Well, that was the end of my obsession with Gann. Since then, I was truly obsessed. I still am. I'm truly obsessed with financial markets. I love them. I've got a few days off, which is pretty rare. I'm looking at financial markets. That's what eventually forced me to find the Daniel Code. I've done courses with most of the leading people you can think of, and I don't wish to disparage any of them other than to say I'm sure they're very clever men. I'm sure it all works for them, but it didn't work for me. And what I was trying to find was a trading methodology that was safe. In other words, I didn't want to risk a lot of money. And I wanted to be profitable enough that it had a constantly rising equity curve. Those of you who've been with us for a while, in fact, even if you're brand new to us, take a look at the Danielcode website. And on the front of it, you'll see links to 4 videos. Now, those 4 videos are not about my trading. I know that everyone who's in this business tends to push their trading and say, look what a great trader I was. I can teach you to be the same. In my view, that's not the point. The point really is how well can they teach it? So we have a number of very big, very popular programs that seem to have a very, very poor teaching rate. I have more people come to me saying I lost money trading Elliott Wave than almost anything you can think of. Now, Bob Prechter, who's developed the modern theory of Elliott Wave, which is 8,000 pages, not literally, whereas you could have put Elliott's original finding on one page. He was a brilliant trader, no doubt about that. As a young man, he was an absolutely brilliant trader. He was with one of the big prime brokerages. But can he teach it? Well, a lot of people come to me saying they've lost money. So this business is not so much about what a great trader I am. It's about what our clients are able to say about what they've learned. And for that reason, I've got those 4 videos sitting up on the front of our front page, the home page of our website. They're all on YouTube. You can click those links. They're about 20 minutes each. I think the final one might be a bit longer. And you can hear exactly what our students have to say about their trading. So that digressed a little bit, but there's the story. So today, special introductory offer. We are going to release for you, and belatedly, I should say, I talked about this a couple of months ago, but one thing and another has caused delays, and you can now access the Teach Yourself Trading, or Teach Yourself to Trade. We'll call it TTT, obviously. And what will you expect? Well, there are no graphics, there's no repetitive slogans. We didn't get some marketing people in to say, make this all pretty and enjoyable. And I didn't hire a bloke to read through a transcript. It's just me talking to a student. So you get a couple of coughs and grunts, etc., just as it happens. So I don't wish it to be anything else except the bare bones of trading, as I talk to you about the Daniel Code, what it is, and how you can profit from it. And in amongst other things, this is so new. As I said, Frank, who's with us today, he's the first guy to do it. And excuse me, you'll see there's a couple of breaks in transmission. That's me dealing with what they now call long COVID. How enjoyable, isn't it? Anyway, so this is also new. We have no idea what the frequently asked questions will be, but we'll build it up as we get the questions. But the answer at present about FAQs is answer number 1 is follow the system. Answer number 2 is email me, jneedham@thedanielcode.com. So if you decide to get started on this wonderful new system, it's wonderful because it's all of the magic that's contained in our Daniel Code tutorial, which has been available at $7,500 since about, I don't know, I'm going to say maybe 2010, maybe earlier. And it's always been the same price, $7,500. So what we're doing today with this new Teach Yourself trading is that instead of me speaking to you for many hours about trading, it's just a video. It's exactly as I talk to students, and you're going to love it. If you're a man of science, like Sir Isaac Newton, the father of modern science, if you're a mathematician, a studier of deductive reasoning, a logical thinker, a skeptic, a non-believer, and an all-round modern person, you are going to love lesson 1, which is finding Daniel's code. It is pure math and deductive reasoning. As well as that, or if you are a believer, or even a lapsed believer, you're going to love lesson 1, finding Daniel's code. It uses mathematics to prove the literal truth of at least that part of the Bible, Daniel chapter 12. And in particular, if you are a lapsed believer, do that course. Take that lesson 1. It'll be good for your soul. It will do amazing things for your faith. And Daniel, of course, he's that rare historic character who's held in esteem and respected by all the major religions. He's recognized by the Jewish religion. He's, of course, recognized by the Anglican and all the offshoots of Anglican. And the Muslims held him to be a holy man. And in fact, he, of course, lived most of his life in Babylon after he was captured by the Persians after they sacked Jerusalem. At least 4 major cities in that area of the world, Iraq, claim to have his body buried there. And those are all pilgrimage sites. So he's an amazing character. This all happened 2,500 years ago, folks, what we're using today. And that's the great marvel of Lesson 1. And this is our self-taught method of learning based on the video material provided. This is it, Daniel's code, creating the time ratios that rule all markets. And you can see everything there. If you need more time to look at it, I've actually sent it to you as a handout with the invitation. And you will discover what on first glance appears to be random numbers are not so random. In fact, they're not random at all. So this is the basis of the Daniel code. And I think you'll absolutely love it. And we've managed to release that at a very reasonable price of $699. I've said before, and I'm happy to repeat it, that the gift of Daniel code was given to me freely. And my aim is to share it with you freely. Or as much close to freely as we can get. But the reality is, modern life, modern business, bills have to be paid. So I've made all of these for video deliveries as cheap as we can, but they do have still a cost to them, which is just the reality of running a business. So there's lesson 1. Here is the power of price in lesson 2, if you know what true price is, because anything you've read or seen with the sort of traditional ideas of old highs and old lows being support and resistance, etc., forget all that. That's just a cover for the fact that they don't actually know what these price targets are. We create these price targets. We do it twice a week, sometimes every day if the markets are wild enough. But what you will learn in lesson number 2 is to create and trade your own price signals. Now, you'll be able to create the retracements, the red and black lines that you see on my charts. You'll be able to create that yourself with any retracement tool. If you want to use the Danielcode blue lines, which I really do suggest you need, you can get them from members charts, Danielcode members charts, which are available on a modest subscription. See that on our services page. And from learning about price, you're going to learn the basic requirements for the market to be in a position to make a turn. And you will finesse that with target recognition. Now, I'm sometimes criticized, or at least have people talking about wanting a higher win percent. You'll see if you go through those 4 videos on our homepage that Justin, who's I'm sure with us today, tested so many markets. And what he found is what I've been saying for years, that win rate is not the driver of profits. As I say, I can give you a program that has a 92% win rate but doesn't make any money because it's got so many filters that it doesn't trade very often for a start. Danielcode is optimized for dollar profits. That's what it's about. If you're a trader, your business is making money. The business of trading is the business of making money. That's what you're focused on. It doesn't matter what your win percent is, it's how many dollars. And Danielcode, to all the best of my knowledge, is the safest and by a long way the most profitable method of trading that I have ever seen or heard of. and this is a step along the path, learning the power of price. And the first thing you'll learn is that Daniel's code in lesson 1 creates, amongst other things, a series of time signals. We then convert those time signals into price, and you will truly be amazed how accurate all of these price signals are, just as we've shown you with all of today's trading. The next lesson is called Trends and Tricks. It's a very important lesson for you to do. It teaches you a lot of market law that actually works, as opposed to market law that's largely BS. It's important that you do that course before you move on. So I really suggest you do these 4 courses in the order I've laid them out for you. But if you don't want to, if you want to pick and choose, well, it's your money, your life, do what you wish. But I do recommend you pretty well must do this lesson 3 before you go on to everything else. So lesson 4, this is it, folks, freedom. Learn to create and trade Danielcode time signals. You can see all of that as we go through, this is the program that our super traders are using. You've heard our super traders talk about creating 500, 600% return on investment. You've heard Justin talk about over 100 years of markets. Now, we'll come to that in a moment. This stuff has been examined remorselessly by clients. It works for the clients, it's going to work for you. There are actually 2 videos for this particular section, because the second video will show you how to build your special Danielcode time trading charts, which you probably haven't seen before. And this is $24.99. I would like it to be cheaper. This material's never been available other than in the Danielcode tutorial, as I say, the price of which is $7,500, and we have offered discounts at times, but this is way below 40% of the cost, and you can have now exactly the same material that I teach in the big Danielcode tutorial. The next lesson is one I hope you don't need. It's basically, if it doesn't all tie together for you, you can have a 1-hour session with me and I'll talk you through it all. I'm hoping that the videos will be clear enough for you not to need to talk to me, because the basis that we've been able to reduce the price so massively is that it doesn't involve my time, and my time actually doing the main Danielcode tutorial, which I teach over 6, 8, 10. I've actually got a guy on about 16th lesson now. I'll stick with you until you get it. You can guarantee that. But he's an exception. Most people have got it pretty well by the 8th lesson. But it's there if you need it. I'm happy to talk to you for an hour. Now, for all this stuff, we use GoTo for our video conferencing. If you do need to talk to me and you want to get an appointment for an hour's talking about your trading, it'll be delivered on this program called GoTo. You must be a Danielcode member to access these videos that we're offering. Membership is free. Go to the Danielcode website, www.thedanielcode.com, and you will be able to create your free membership right there. With that, if you're doing the Teach Yourself to Trade lessons, we'll happy to offer you 14 days free access to our website, so you can see all the other things that we do. And once you tell me you're ready to roll, I'll send you an invoice. You can either pay it by PayPal or by direct deposit to our US bank account. Upon that payment, the relevant video will appear under your Danielcode members page and can be viewed there. For any of you who want to graduate to the full Danielcode trading tutorial, any fees you pay for the TTT videos will be credited. If you have any issues with membership registration, folks, please refer to Terry at support@thedanielcode.com. If you've previously had a trial with the Danielcode website, it will remember you and won't want to give you another trial. So contact Terry and he'll fix that up for you straight away. So in addition to these new release of all of these teach yourself trading, we still have the traditional Danielcode tutorial, which is taught one-on-one to you by me. I'm quite happy to say I believe this to be the safest and most profitable system I've ever seen or heard of. And you're going to get exactly the same thing, but without the JCN commentary, if you choose to go the TTT way. If you'd like to have the taught session, I'm delighted to teach you. Just email me, jneedham@thedanielcode.com, and you will have a world-changing, a life-changing experience, I promise you. We now have a new product. It's called Beyond Masterclass. We call our Danielcode trading tutorial that I've just been speaking about, we call that Masterclass. We now have a new product called Beyond Masterclass. And basically, it does something quite strange. It's taken me many years and many years of pondering to work out what it actually was. But what it is the ability to separate the trading of the commercials, the really seriously big players, against all the other trading, which might be CTAs, certified trading advisors, might be private traders, might be private officers, anything you can think of. Once you can distinguish the two of those, you get a pattern. And basically, the big financial markets, they're like oil tankers. They're huge, they're heavy, they're massive, and they take a long time to turn. It's not like stopping a car and spinning it around. These things take an age to turn, and the big financial markets are like that. They can't make a turn without creating a sign, and that sign is what we use in Beyond Masterclass. This next level, or an extension, in fact, if you like, of the Danielcode tutorial, allows you to hold trades for much longer periods, and it will give you much fewer trades, but the dollar value of them will be you'll be holding those trades sometimes, well, for longer periods, sometimes for very long periods, which is pretty sensational. And my fee for that is $12,500. And if you've already done the masterclass course, that is, you've done the Danielcode main course to learn time and price trading, we will credit any fees you paid for that course against the cost of this next course. So here are your options. You can teach yourself, choose any of the teach yourself to trade courses in any order. I do suggest you follow the order I've laid out for maximum ease and understanding. If you decide to upgrade to our major JCN taught courses, Masterclass or Beyond Masterclass, any fees paid for TTT or for any other major Danielcode tutorial will be credited as required. The signals will all be included, of course. There's in fact a new signal generator within the Danielcode Beyond Masterclass that I've just talked about. There's a new signal generator that identifies in a remarkable way, actually, what the commercials are doing. And you can see that the big trends don't happen without the commercials. So that's a wonderful thing. Now, the fourth seal is our commentary on timing. It's our long-term commentary. The gentleman who runs it for it is Frank DB. He's a Belgian gentleman. He came to a Danielcode tutorial in Taupo in New Zealand in 2011. Long time ago now, isn't it? And that was the very first year that I actually taught the fourth seal. I don't actually teach it very often. It's very complex. It's also very fabulous. And Frank latched right onto that and has done nothing else except study the fourth seal. And after a few years, he came to me and said, I've been doing nothing else except this. I've learned a lot. He's written a couple of articles for us, and the main thing is that this thing is amazing and brilliant. He's already made a very important call in one of the markets. If you're not subscribed to it, you've missed it. But the good news is he has another very important call coming up, and he covers S&P and gold and crude oil. So if you're a gold or crude oil trader or S&P trader, if you're not getting this weekly commentary from the fourth seal, you're missing out on a whole lot. Seriously. It's not expensive. You can subscribe to it. Go to the website, go to our services page, click on the link, and he posts every Monday afternoon, his time in Belgium. But it's quite extraordinary, and this is what he wrote on Monday of this week. Pretty incredible stuff, isn't it? Okay, that part's up to you folks. Little comment that we've got one of our many wonderful Danielcode members is Justin and his father Hank. And they live in the Hunter Valley, which is Australia's equivalent of Keeneland for you Americans. The grass is so green you could eat it yourself. It's where all the big horse studs are. And a wonderful, beautiful, beautiful spot. And Hank came to me as a client and started studying Danielcode. And eventually he got his son Justin interested in it. And Justin's first comment, he was reading some articles or listening to some recordings, and he said, I heard someone talk about it, Proverbs, and he said, I ran away. And that's a very common feeling for folks. Regrettably, religion has been so misused by businesses that it's given it a bad name for a lot of people. But Hank said to Justin, look, you stick with it. He said, I've actually seen Needham's trading. You stick with it. This is the thing. And Justin did. But sotto voce, he's just had this secretive desire to prove that the Danielcode's not much good, which would have justified his position. And to do this, he's gone on and he's done absolutely massive, massive amounts of research. Those of you who at our tutorials regularly have heard him talk about having traded over 100 years of markets. And that doesn't mean he's older than Methuselah. What he means is that he's traded some markets for 1 year, some markets for 2 years, some markets for 6, and some markets for 8, and in between. But if you add up all of those years of trading, paper trading and research, it comes to much, much more than 100 years. In other words, he's examined and paper traded Danielcode time signals on almost any regulated futures market you can think of, and Forex as well. And he's come up with some staggering findings. All markets average 600% on margin return over the years, and he's never found a losing year. There'll be one somewhere, you can be sure of that. All markets are about trading, it's about probabilities, and the probability of having a losing year. Some of you even know about that already. But with the over 100 years of markets, futures markets and Forex that Justin's examined, he hasn't found a losing year. So I do urge you to listen to those recordings. Justin is one of them. Mark L is another. And there's a delightful couple from Boulder, Colorado, talking about their experience learning and Danielcode time trading. And this is they. So this is a copy of the front page of our website, and you can click on them. They're all on YouTube. You can click on any of the links. And I want you to look at these and listen to them because it's not my trading that counts. It's your trading after you've learned that counts. That's what it's about. It doesn't matter if I'm the best trader in the world if I can't teach it to you. And regrettably, there's more than a few of those out there. The approach I take is tell me what the students say. Tell me what the people who've done these courses say. They're a lot of money. Everything costs money. Did they were they satisfied? Did they get what they thought they were getting? Did they have some difficulties in the process of getting there? Did they have to struggle to go through a few of them again and again? Because even with our taught tutorials, we record each session, put it on our secure server, and you can go through those lessons as often as you like, whenever you like. And that's the same with our new TTT or Teach Yourself Trading courses. You'll have those videos. They're yours. You can use them as often as you like and whenever you like. And you'll find it's helpful to go through these again and again. We often have people, excuse me for a moment. We often have folks saying, they've been trading with us for years. And so I went back through that video back to what I did years ago. I found something new in it. I found something new in it. There's a lot of material. The more often you go through it, the more you'll understand it. The more paper trading you do, the better trader you'll be. That's a reality. On a lighter note, it's the moon, stupid. Those of you who follow us all the time will know that the full moons are very special for us. I usually have lunch with Mick D at the full moon because we always have a chuckle about what the S&P and silver are going to do because they are highly, highly affected by these moon cycles. And what appears to you as the full moon is the easy way. It's actually the combination of the various lunar cycles that are causing these turns. But it's very, very predictable. I think the last time I counted up, I think I said 9 full moons have caused 8 reversals or something like that. But the S&P and silver are very, very susceptible to moon cycles, which is kind of interesting, isn't it? And I'm sure you'll enjoy thinking about that. I've done a lot of coverage about all this stuff in previous webinars. It's all on YouTube there for you folks. And this was today's trade in silver. And of course, while I'm showing you the full moon, which is what most people see most visually, what's actually turning these markets are apogees and perigees. And these lunar cycles that are quite naturally created by the major planets, the sun, earth, moon, and how they interact with each other. But these A's and P's, or apogees and perigees, are pretty dynamic. And we've got the quarter cycles in there as well. If you go back through earlier webinars, as I say, I've spent a lot of time talking about that. Okay, for those of you who want to do the full tutorial, I'd be delighted to teach you. This is a couple of comments, one from Mark L. And the others from Greg Palladini, who's a wealth manager and super trader in California, and was kind enough to let us have this comment to use. And more than that, he came back to do his second tutorial with us to learn trading time, creating and trading Danielcode time signals. He said, I'm going to post everything in forum, let people know how I find it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And he's done just that. So if you'd like to see what Greg Palladini had to say, click on forum and find a link that says Danielcode training program, or some words like that. It's pretty marvelous. If you'd like to do the full tutorial, what we call masterclass, just email me, jneedham at thedanielcode.com. So you want to be a trader. These are those video links that I've shown you already. If you don't have time to copy them all down, go to the Danielcode website and they're on our homepage, and you can click on them straight away there. In the meantime, folks, if you haven't already had a free trial, please help yourself. And remember, if you're going to do a Teach Yourself trading course or courses, you need to be registered first. And you just go to the website, click on the register link. It's free. Any issues, as I've said, contact Terry at support at the Danielcode. And finally, I like to show you our disclaimer, which basically says it's very easy to lose money trading futures and Forex. In fact, 90% of new traders lose their bank in the first 90 days. That's the industry statement. I think they lose their bank in the first 10 days, a lot of them. The good news, that's the bad news. The good news is it's equally easy to make a lot of money once you know what you're doing. So do take the time to learn the proper way to trade, which is Danielcode, and you will be on the track of success for the rest of your life. Some of you are there already. Keep at it. Okay, well, that's us for today, folks. Thank you very much for being with me. I hope you'll take up our new offer. The cost, as I say, is an absolute fraction of what it's been in the past. So now, for the first time, success is now affordable. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll look forward to talking to you soon. Goodbye for now. Thank you, Jeff. Good to have you with us, mate. Bye-bye.